Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Onset and Gasket once again. Once again, hey, it's going to be a great time. At least I hope Gardens isn't in the rotation for Gaskin's sanity at this point. We have Arena Demons going against NaVi. Like I said, North America versus Europe. Curious which side of the fence you guys are going to be on. I'm assuming EU, but maybe that's making a generalization. Maybe I need to stop, pump the brakes there. Onset. How you feeling, brother? It's going to be a great matchup.
I hadn't thought about that. That's a good point that you just raised there. EU versus NA.
Don't switch it up now again, man. Come on.
I won't, but I will caveat it with, it's my fault. Like, it falls on my shoulders that I didn't think about that. But this is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Very, very interesting one. I mean, you know a lot about Arena Demons, more than I did, to be honest with you, Taylor. And, you know, I know about the NaVi lineup. We all know about the NaVi lineup and what they can do. And they've been very, very good in arenas as well. But they're going up against a team who are Arena Demons. You know, these guys specialize in arenas. And then maybe not some of the names that a lot of people would be familiar with in the pro scene. But when you look at, you know, their ranks in the arena playlist, the ranked arena playlist, I think you said there were 1, 2, and 3, if I'm not mistaken.
At one point, yep.
At one point, which, if by my calculations and my mathematics, is as good as you can get. So we're going to have to see how it works out against a pro team like NaVi.
Thank you for that, Onset. Yeah, we're going to definitely have to see. There, you know, Arena is one thing they do like and they do specialize in. As of now, they have reached Pred as a team, though, collectively during the, you know, OGBR. So they are well-versed. They know their way around Apex. I don't think you could be 1, 2, and 3 in Arena without being successful in BR in general. Gaskin, let's take a look, though, at at least our groups, Charlie and Delta, because I wanted to talk a little bit about that. We just saw one of the matches take place, and that was PK versus Sentinels. Great game 5, an exciting one. Sentinels reverse comeback. They play against My Little Phony down there in the loser bracket. Area Eternity will play against Pittsburgh Knights. Hopefully Pittsburgh Knights can let go of that loss, that reverse comeback from Sentinels, or else they could be seeing an earlier exit than we were expecting. Talk to me, though, would Pittsburgh Knights have completed an upset if they beat Sentinels, or Sentinels completing the upset against Pittsburgh Knights?
I think it was an upset in the fact it was a reverse sweep, but Knights should not have let that happen. There should be no way that they throw away a 2-0 lead, but I do think they're going to get another stab at Sentinels in the lower bracket qualification match. I'm expecting My Little Phony to walk through their qualification match against Sentinels, especially with how kind of poor Sentinels looked in a couple of those maps there. My Little Phony should be able to take advantage of that one, but we'll see what happens in the rematch, but I'm expecting Knights to be out for some revenge.
So let's talk about Group D, the one that is coming up now. When it comes to Arena Demons, they had to play against Aqualix round 1, or series 1, I should say. They beat them 3-1, and you know, I was looking at the score line. They did a great job across the board. Great stats from Arena Demons. NaVi, though, had a very close series against Cheez-Its, bringing it down 3-2 map 5. So NaVi, a very narrow win. Of course, Aqualix will play against Cheez-Its down there in the loser bracket. So quite honestly, looking much the same as Group C.
Yeah, again, I don't like to go outside of my borders when I talk about mathematics and calculations, but that is as close a series as you can get, 3-2, once again. So it was extremely close between the two. Dan's looking at me because he knows that my maths is terrible, by the way. So this is about as far out as I'm willing to reach with that sort of thing. But the surprising one there is the fact that Arena Demons, you know, took down Aqualix in such a commanding way. And Aqualix have been a team who have put a lot of time into arenas. They've really gone through their strategies, how they approach things round by rounds, how they manage their economy, what they can get DPS-wise out of weaponry per round. They really, really have gone into depth on it. So to see them push them aside so easily, and maybe we'll sort of caveat it with a reminder that maybe ping was a little bit of an issue, but you know, now going against NaVi, who I don't think are as strong an arenas team as Aqualix, I really feel like I've made the correct prediction here. I think the Arena Demons are going to prove everybody, to everybody, I should say, that they are one of the best arena teams there is.
You know what? Great point. Was going through my notes from the last tournament, the last arena tournament, and when it comes to Aqualix, they actually faced off against NaVi, and just to prove your point, Aqualix beat them 3-1. NaVi just did not show up that day. Granted, there's been a month time span since then, but maybe you still have to consider the fact that Aqualix did beat NaVi in the past, and obviously Arena Demons just beat them 3-1. Arena Demons is the real deal. Again, my dark horse to win this entire thing. They're going to have to eventually get through G2, but I think they're going to be just fine. Let's take a look at the maps, though, and see what we're working with, Gaskin. Starting off with Party Crasher. You love to see it. This has been a great map, a pretty evenly based map, it seems, throughout the day.
I mean, this map pool screams European dominance if I've ever seen it. I think NaVi have got this in the bank now. I've seen these 5 maps. No, yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see any maps except Gardens. So the fact it's there slightly ruins my day. But Party Crasher, fantastic map. Overflow, great. Phase 1 are amazing. If it's a 3-0, we're going to all be happy because we've seen 3 incredible maps. Then we'll be sad Gardens comes into the equation. But then Thermal Station just to bring us right back in.
You're all over the place, man. You know, you just called a 3-0, but then you're wanting to support Europe, and then if it's a 3, well, either way, I guess it could be a 3-0 for NaVi, but we didn't talk about NaVi. Obviously, lost to Qualix, and I don't know what you guys are thinking. So let me get some clarification. Now, I did say before I was going to start off with Onset because he was going to be matching that of Gaskin. Now I guess I have to flip the script. I know you did. I know you did. So I do want to hit it over to Gaskin because Gaskin said, well, now I'm going to start copying Onset. It's getting crazy between you two. I just got to keep you guys in line. So Gaskin, who are you going with? Who are you supporting?
In any tournament when it's Europe versus NA, I always predict Europe because I'm not a traitor like Onset is. So I'm going to be predicting NaVi, and I believe that they can get it done here regardless of any ping issues or any rubbish like that. They're going to get the job done. The Arena Demons are going to be the Arena Donuts.
The Arena Donuts? Okay, that's right, fair. Hey, I don't know what to do with that one, Onset, so I'm going to let you take it away. Who are you going with?
So, obviously, I'm going for Arena Demons, and the reason being is that I put my... you know, my allegiances to Europe to the side because I'm a professional and I look at, you know, statistics, ability, brackets, runs, numbers, stats, all of this stuff. I put it into the lab and I come up with a formula that gives me the correct answer. And the correct answer is Arena Demons. So Dan's wrong. You know, he's letting his emotions get over the top of him.
To be fair, Dan, Onset just went on an entire monologue about how he looks at the stats, how he looks at a number, but just literally a couple minutes before he said he was terrible at math. So I don't know if he's right. But you're still doing the math. Look, I can't tell the difference between a rock and a ficus, so I'm definitely not good at math. Chat, who are you going with? Because I definitely got to find out. Are you good? Okay, so fair enough. All right, so at this point in time, Arena Demon seems to be the favorite. So Gaskin, you're standing on your own 2 legs. I'm going with Arena Demons for what it's worth, and it's not worth the line. Okay, I already know that. So either way, I'm going to hop off. Onset Gaskin, take it away.
I'm looking forward to this one, man. I've got to be honest with you. And by the way, chat, thank you for having my back. I know we had to have a little talk about how, you know, I needed you on my side for this show today, and you've shown the support that I was looking for. So shout out to you. Unfortunately for you, Dan, you've picked the losing team in this game, which is disappointing for NaVi fans who are going to be watching, because as we all know, your predictions are historically dreadful. And it seems like, again, you've let your emotions get the better of you when it comes to picking the team who's going to win.
How have my predictions gone today, though? I remember you and Chat both went against me when Premier won that series.
I picked Premier. I picked Premier. I picked Premier.
Sure,
Chat had my back on that one as well.
I will always support Europe, all right? Someone's got to back NaVi here because they are very much against it. Like, let's put jokes aside. NaVi shouldn't win this series. Arena Demons should have everything above them. Like, in terms of how they've been playing today, the result they were able to get against Aqualix is incredible, and they should be able to beat NaVi here. But I will still believe in NaVi, and it will still be my prediction. But that's the last we talk about it until NaVi.
Well, straight up, no cap, as the kids say. I'm super looking forward to this series because I'm looking forward to seeing how Arena Demons actually approach arenas, because we've seen pro teams kind of, you know, dip their toes into Arena. We've had a few tournaments where obviously they've had the ability to work out a meta, what's worked for them. But these 3 players who have really dedicated as much time as possible to this game mode that we now have in Apex Legends. So what have they got up their sleeves that we haven't seen so far, including composition, Dan? Very interested to see how that's adjusted as we get into our first game.
There you go, there's a Valkyrie for you. How about that for switching things up and making it a little bit spicy? We'll see whether just the ability to get to the high ground could be a big influence in this game. I want to see who's playing for NaVi. There you go, it's xron, Strafe, and clawz. So this isn't maybe your traditional NaVi lineup, but it is certainly 3 players who have played together quite a lot. So I'm excited to see what they can do here.
Yeah, clawz was a little bit of a monster last time we saw him on NaVi, but Arena Demons, they've got a 30-30 repeater to start things off here in round number 1, a weapon we don't see too much of. And as we all know, the Peter is loved and beholden by our wonderful pro player Albrelelli, and it looks like it's getting some love here from Arena Demons as well. Such a versatile weapon, and also does a lot of damage. If you can get the DPS down, you hit those shots, especially in a round number 1.
Well, it was when it was first introduced. I mean, there was the talk of it being a kind of ability to shoot long range, mid range, and then switch it up with the scatter caps to make it a shotgun as well. But of course, we're not going to see that right now. Instead, it's just going to be the long range. And you can understand it's got a little bit more of a, I guess, better aim and scope than the wingman in the initial rounds. But the wingman would still be my preference, as at the moment we have a little bit of a standoff still. Mozambique at the hands of xron. clawz and Strafe are just having to bat up here, but they have done damage to Arena Demons. Arena Demons look like they don't have much shields left.
I just wonder if Arena Demons are actually just waiting a little bit. Actually, they're not going to wait because it looks like Strafey's got the first knock. However, it's going to be traded out by RahKnee almost immediately. So a 2v2 on the map here on Party Crasher. aidanthedestroyer now going to get into that bubble. Look to hit that shot onto clawz to stop that battery. Being reset quite as quickly. He's going to now relocate his reticle and do some decent damage. And the way that he's dancing around this bubble, super impressive. Now he's going to use the jets on the Valkyrie, hit the jets, and his teammate's going to pick up one. And I have to say, that was surgical and very, very impressive from Arena Demons.
Oh, it hits hard, doesn't it? The 30-30 repeater doing some serious damage there. NaVi, despite getting the first knock, it was traded out by Arena Demons, and then as NaVi tried to close the gap, the 30-30 repeater just was too strong. And now Arena Demons will take the lead here, and that's the first real difference we've seen in terms of meta with weapons throughout this tournament. To be honest, it's been pretty solid across the board in terms of wingman being used, Mozambique, P2020 sometimes in the early round. Very rare that we've seen 30-30 repeater, at least from the arena tournaments and the arena games I've been able to watch in the cast. So now Arena Demons will have the advantage when it comes to the economy. How about this?
Skyward dive from Valkyrie. That's one way to get across the map nice and quickly. Arena Demons showing us some more tricks and getting up close and personal. Same weaponry though. As you can see, the Strafey's going to be splitting things at the moment as far as meds are concerned, and aidanthedestroyer will drop down to get those meds. One thing to point out as these teams just stand off from each other for a few moments is, you might have seen the Oasis Bistro in the background there, and Guy Blaze gave us a little review of the food and he said, it's bussin'.
I think it was, with a pop of the lips, but Max-Strafe is a little bit low here. clawz is going to have to help him out, but also gets tagged down. So now all of them are struggling. But Arena Demons have just lost one. NaVi managing to turn this fight on its head.
clawz is going to pop the battery as well, re-engage. However, Strafe has gone down, so a 2v2 as it stands. Bubble will go down, 45 on the wingman. Will slow things down momentarily as clawz tries to close the gap. This should be, you would imagine, another kill, and that will be 2 kills back-to-back here for NaVi, who tie things up. And that's the difference, I think, as far as weaponry is concerned. The 30-30 is good for that early poke damage in round number 1, but I always feel when you get a little bit closer, the wingman is always going to have that little bit of a damage advantage.
And we've got this ever-evolving meta, haven't we, in arenas now, where everyone just wants to try something a little bit different. Valkyrie almost doing what Loba does, but at the same time doing what, I don't know, an Octane would do. You can reposition extremely fast, get to the middle of the map, but you can also take the pills because you're there first. So it is a nice balance between the two. Is it necessary? You probably could do a very similar thing with the Octane pad, but at the same time, Octane doesn't have the ability to go up, so you've got almost the Horizon ability coming into the equation as well with Valkyrie. So it's like mixing 3 legends in one when it comes to what you can do in arenas.
Strafey's going to use that grapple to get out wide and go for those meds. 30-30 repeater once again. This time going to be in conjunction with a wingman for one of the players on Arena Demons. On the other side of things, you can see more familiar wingmen in the hands. We're going to go back to what you call plural of wingmen, aren't we? Wingmen, wingmai. We're still not quite decided, but NaVi certainly do have them all in the back pocket. No real damage being exchanged as yet. As you can see, lots of bats in the inventory now are Strafey. So with that many meds on board, you wouldn't be surprised to see them play a little bit of a slow, methodical game here.
We could just give it a completely different name, like a group of cowards. What?
Wing blokes.
Just,
oh, yeah.
Anything. You could call it a buzzer beater.
I think there's better. I think we'll leave that one to the chat. Come up with a name for the plural of wingmen. Because Dan's struggling. Shots on the flat line,
as much as NaVi are with some of the shots that just came out there from aidanthedestroyer. Fantastic flatline ability, and now they're going to try and press on here, Arena Demons. A couple of bats being dropped just to ensure that's shared around. NaVi on the back foot at the moment, but all it takes is a couple of shots being hit with the wingman, wingmai, buzzer beater, and then suddenly they can push in.
Oh my word!
Woo!
Strafey, there's a few shots hit with a wingman. That is as accurate as you could possibly want with a precision weapon. Precision by name, precision by nature. However, the shot's going to be exchanged here. The flatline is going to be beaming. Aidan the Destroyer, though, gets his shields destroyed and some HP alongside it. Clawz in a 1v1. Pulls out the Mozambique and won't be able to quite finish for now. And that will be the end of NaVi, as it will be Arena Demons, even after that first knock. You put their second round on the board.
Yeah, Arena Demons going 2-1 up here. And I mean, the first knock may have come in NaVi's way, but we saw how the missiles can really impact things there from the Valkyrie. Time to perfection. They do hit hard. They can have a lot of zoning ability as well. Like, there's all the positives really from Valkyrie coming into the equation. I know a few people have teetered around with using her throughout the likes of artillery, because you've especially got the high ground difference, but it seems to be working out quite well here for Arena Demons. And now they are 1 round away from taking map number 1, away from NaVi. And they are going to have a little bit of an economic advantage. And here's the jump pad. So we've got a little bit of everything on this team. It's such an aggressive comp. The thing they're lacking is the Gibraltar, and NaVi haven't really been able to make any sort of benefit from Kron's Gibraltar here.
Not as yet. The 30-30 repeaters have been kind of holding them at bay, especially in the first couple of rounds. Now we're seeing a little bit of a change up of things, as we're going to see once again Strafey tasked with going and collecting some meds, as the Pathfinder will be able to grapple back to his team nice and quickly, as well as getting to those meds as quickly as possible. So Arena Demons holding this staircase with the head glitch, and you can see they're in a very good spot at the moment, just holding down both sides of the staging side of the map that we're on at the moment. Nice shots with the flat line once again. 71's going to chip away at Clawz, and your Pie Crasher at the moment is looking like it's a nice playground here for Arena Demons.
Yeah, they're enjoying their time. Dimmy's low, but should be able to bat up as well. There was plenty of resources on that side. Circle is going to be an even ground for both right now. A lot of respect coming out from both teams, recognizing that it is not as simple as just jumping on one another at the moment, because some big shots have come out in both rounds. I am surprised NaVi weren't able to secure that round number 3, especially since they got the first knock. Arena Demons, RahKnee very low, manages to get the bat off again. The grenades come through, and the care package is going to be acquired by NaVi. Gold Eva Ray. This could be a difference maker if they can get into a close range gunfight. But as you say, it's certainly been difficult with a repeater just kind of slapping you every time you try and approach them.
Yeah, NaVi really struggling to close the gap at the moment. Every time they try and push up, then a little few shots are chipping away at those shields. Strafey's now feeling the damage as well, as he's going to be forced to pop one of those 4 batteries, and he'll be down to 3 once he's managed to get his shields back up. 30-30 repeater again here from RahKnee doing some damage. And now it's becoming somewhat of an economy game, as NaVi try and make their move up towards the zone and towards where RahKnee is. Shots are going to come in. However, RahKnee once again with a 30-30 is going to get a knock. However, it'll be traded out by Clawz. So a 2v2 for now. Dimmy goes down. Kron's going to be down to 1 HP. Aidan the Destroyer, the last player alive, manages to get 1 knock, and there's the Valkyrie. That is how devastating Valkyrie can be. Dropping down, making sure that res doesn't come in, and now managing to reposition inside of the bubble. However, with all the good plays coming in, it doesn't matter, because NaVi and Clawz will close out the round.
I'm unsure about that play, going for the res. I understand the thought process behind it. You've got the high ground. You don't think that maybe the player below can get up to you in time, but you've already got the advantage in that 1 versus 1. You've got the high ground. You dictate the pace of the play. You can stall things out a little bit with a couple of bullets. Maybe tap the res for a little bit of a fake. He came off it, then he went back on it. Maybe there was a bit of a mix of communications between the team. I know sometimes when you have a teammate who is on the ground screaming, res me, and you don't want to res them, but they keep doing it. Sorry, this isn't a dig at you, Onset, I promise. Slightly a dig at you.
It's fine. I just know we don't win fights if I'm on the floor.
It's also true. Can't really disagree with that one.
Well, NaVi coming back well in this game, and as the rounds roll on, I want to see how they adjust. As those shots are going to be hitting very, very hard. Aidan the Destroyer once again, not being the destroyer, nor the destroyee. As the shots are going to hit, the 30-30 once again, the weapon of choice.
I mean, to be fair, the R actually isn't there, so technically he is Aidan the Destroyee.
That's very true. Yeah, you're right. Arena Demons trying to get a little bit more aggressive here. You can see the bubble has been forced here, and Aidan the Destroyer's got a wonderful angle here onto Hron, and he's going to do damage initially. The missile swarm will force him out, and it might even get that knock. As you can see, it will actually end up getting the knock, and now this is just a slaughter, to be honest with you. They're moving in, they're getting the flatline shots down. However, Strafe made that one a little bit more difficult than it had to be, but in the end, all pretty simple there after that initial knock, and the aggression from Arena Demons just changing up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's always good to try and surprise your opposition every now and then. Don't let anyone get into their comfort zone. Don't let them think they know how you're going to play. So switch things up. Get a little bit more aggressive. Surprise NaVi. And that was NaVi getting caught off guard ever so slightly. xron getting into a position where he couldn't really escape. No bubble to save him on that second occasion. And the missiles, again, just very important here from the Valkyrie. And Aidan the Destroyer has been performing excellently here. They do have the ultimate again, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do it.
Did you just sit on something?
No, because
what happened there?
Never mind, they're flying through the air.
And the Destroyer. He's going to lose a teammate in RahKnee, though. He's going to go down, and now they're going to have a little bit of a flip of the map by the looks of things. He tried to use the missile swarm just to focus in on that player who was landing, but it's aggression from NaVi, which seems to be paying off for them at the moment. However, clawz has gone down, so a 2v2 from what looked like a NaVi winnable situation very, very quickly after that pick from Aidan the Destroyer. Hasn't managed to get the finishes yet, so clawz will be rezzed for now, which might mean that they can try and close this ground. clawz is going to be rezzing, and Strafe will take down Dimmy. So now it is just Aidan the Destroyer versus 2 members of NaVi. Make that 3 members of NaVi, and Aidan the Destroyer, you will have earned your title if you manage to pull this round off for your team.
Trial by fire! It failed. He wasn't able to earn his title. Not just yet. Anyway, 3-3. NaVi making a game of this one. Trying to turn the predictions in favor of the gas. Oh, I said I wouldn't talk about it, but it just came up. Naturally came up. 3-3, and I'm impressed.
In there.
I'm really impressed, honestly, with both of these teams and how they're playing. They're adjusting to each other's play styles. They are switching from fast pace to slow pace when they need to. They are capitalizing on knocks for the most part. NaVi have been close to failing on capitalizing off their knocks on a couple of occasions, but they were able to at least close it out on that one, thanks to getting the res. 3-3 means that maybe, just maybe, we could get sudden death if we don't see a team win 2 in a row here.
I must say, Dan, you do look great in that picture as well, inside of Mirage Voyage. Just say it one more time. The last time I'll say it, but resplendent, wonderful, mesmerizing. Pick an adjective. Charge rifle. That's a noun. But it's something that is catching me off guard, to be honest with you, is something we don't usually see down in arenas.
I mean, that's one way to say screw your 30-30 repeater and you shove a charge rifle up the backside. And quite rightly so. You've been pegged back the entire game and you say, well, let's fight fire with fire. Except, I would say the 30-30 repeater does not win in a fight against a charge rifle. Very little does, if I'm completely honest, at a long range.
NaVi taking the low ground. And Strafe saying, if you want to poke, you're going to get your eyebrows singed. But only for 9. There's 21. That's a little bit more damage. Aidan the Destroyer going to be trying to drop down low and get that little bit of poke damage, as he's also going to get some good vision here. clawz is going to go down. And whoa! xron's so vital for him to get that knock. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any ammo left in the Eva 8, so he's going to try and survive for now. However, he'll be taken down, and now everything falls onto Strafe. And unfortunately for Strafe, alongside the Eva 8, he's only got that charge rifle to work with here.
At least he does still have... Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't have a grapple for 18 seconds, so instead he's just going to engage here with the Eva 8. Has to be very aware of the bullets in his gun, but so is Aidan the Destroyer. Down to just 4. Trying to go for a bat, and he gets swung on, and the swing is fantastic. NaVi take a 4-3 lead. Arena Demons now back against the wall, and NaVi 1 away from taking map number 1.
One thing I love about arenas, one of the new features has been added, is the NaVi jump scare. And we just saw it there as Strafe came flying around that corner to eliminate the final player. And yeah, this is very, very interesting now. NaVi with the opportunity to go up by 1 map if they can close out this next round down. Very, very impressive from them.
That was huge from Prawn, by the way. I know that he missed a few shots there with the Eva 8. He didn't really know what to do for a second. He whipped out the wingman, but hit some crucial shots that did enough damage just to allow the teammates to come in. clawz did damage as well, and then Strafe, obviously in that 1v1 we saw what happened, but great aggression from NaVi, picking their fights at the right time, going for something different with the charge rifle to initiate and get some damage. They're going to go for it again. Try and just rip those shields apart, deplete the resources, and almost downing a player. 150 done across 2 shots. RahKnee, RahKnee, excuse me, really struggling, but at least he's been able to get back up and get a full battery in.
Only just though. Maybe charge rifle is it's meta in arenas. Who would have thought it at the start of today? But again, NaVi showing some good adjustment on the fly, which is always a great sign of a tier 1 team. Doesn't take you a tournament to adjust. It takes you a couple of rounds. But now you can see this is where Arena Demons have held down this side of the map quite a lot. Strafey doing a good job of just trying to do poke damage and allow his teammates maybe just to creep up a little bit closer and see if they can capitalize on that. But Strafey will have to make his move soon as well.
clawz has been deadly with this wingman, but not able to connect with any of those shots. Only down one little smidge of shield, so could just sell up if he wanted to, but at the moment he's just focusing on pushing up. Maybe he doesn't even have cells to work with, just looking across. There's a lot of syringes in the selection. Strafey's got cells he could maybe share to clawz, but at the moment isn't in a position to do so. RahKnee has been obliterated by that charge rifle again. Maybe we're going to see an engagement here. Arena Demons looking to try and push up on this player.
Kobe up into the skies, doesn't get any damage though. clawz going to be forced to use a battery and some syringes as well, as we only have 7 seconds left here before the zone starts to move in. Strafey's going to make his way towards his teammates a little bit to give them a bit more support. And this is difficulty here. You might be thinking, hey, there's 2 members of NaVi. It's a 3v2 if they get aggressive on it. The problem is the charge rifle is going to do so much damage on that cross that it's not a simple 2v3, and it's not worth the risk here for Arena Demons to actually push out, especially when they have zone.
Oh, NaVi. Strafey's been able to find a gold havoc as well, so we can switch out that charge rifle now that it's going to be a closer engagement. But look how passive Arena Demons are playing because of that charge rifle. They didn't want to show themselves whatsoever. This has allowed NaVi to walk up on them ever so slightly. This is a fight that NaVi could win, you know.
RahKnee doesn't have too many cells to work with or too many heals, and Dimmy's not going to have too many either. And NaVi now making their move, and here comes the havoc with the turbocharger. And I tell you what, this is being made to look very, very easy here by NaVi. Dimmy, the last player alive. Unfortunately, once again, the jump scare jumps out, and that jump scare is named Max-Strafe. NaVi take home your first map here and put Arena Demons on the back foot.
And whilst NaVi didn't have a great tournament back in UMG Invitational #1, may I remind you, they were in a group with My Little Phony, Aqualix, and the Pittsburgh Knights. That is a disgustingly tough group to try and get out of, especially when it's your first kind of entrance into arenas. Then we saw them play in the most recent tournament, which we commentated as well, the other Invitational. They looked so much better. They got top 8 in that one. They didn't quite get to top 4. Again, just fell short of Aqualix, but they seem to be improving every single tournament. They seem to be learning new things. They seem to be trying different approaches to the game. The charge rifle was a fantastic addition from there. Only just kind of forcing their opposition back there, forcing the boys to just play passive. Arena Demons didn't really know what to do when Strafey was drilling them in the side with the charge rifle the entire game.
Yeah, it was a very, very smart adjustment coming out from Strafey, and something that I think is going to be very, very prevalent in this series is how these two teams adjust to each other. Because we saw some plays coming out of Arena Demons as well that we haven't seen. The Valkyrie skyward dive, we saw Valkyrie as a pick in itself being used, and we also saw Aidan the Destroyer using that jetpack to get up and change elevation very, very quickly after getting a little bit of damage and managing to reposition to give himself real chances at winning rounds that maybe he wouldn't have had before. This was the one round I feel like maybe he should have won. However, clawz made him pay. Some great shots there with the wingman and finishing off with the Mozam, but it was a very tactical battle between the two teams, and I love games like this, especially in arenas that show it's more than just running at each other and seeing who hits their shots best.
Yeah, it's more than just brainless pushes, isn't it? There was a lot of thought process going into every round from each team. There were some brainless pushes at times, but sometimes you need to throw in that just to keep your opponents on their toes. But really impressed with NaVi. Just to kind of go off that one round as well, where the Valkyrie went up, had the height advantage, went for the res. I do think that clawz played that bubble perfectly. It was in an incredible position for him where he was able to kind of dip, dodge, duck, and dive. Had the wingman shots, hit the wingman shots, and it's very difficult to do that sometimes against a flat line. But very impressive stuff from NaVi. They'll be delighted to take a map lead here, but they need to make sure they don't get ahead of themselves, because we know full well what Arena Demons can do.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It's a case of not getting ahead of yourselves now. For Arena Demons, it's a case of answering back now as we move over to Overflow after the 5-3 win for NaVi on Party Crasher. And this is a map where I feel like the closer quarters might actually favour Arena Demons here. And in those close range battles, I wonder if we're going to see the 30-30 repeater quite as much as we did on the slightly longer range. I'm just fascinated to watch the way they play. You know, the 30-30 is something we didn't talk about too much before we got underway here, and we haven't seen in previous tournaments. They were using it round 1 because they might think that that is the best poke damage weapon with the 2 times that you can actually get in that first round of buys.
You want accuracy, right? And you also want consistent damage, and you want a gun that can hit it as much as possible. Wingman is great when it does connect, but it is a very skillful weapon. It does take a lot of precision. I feel like the 30-30 repeater is going to just provide you with a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more stability in your play. Maybe it is a case that they aren't that comfortable on the wingmen, but certainly they put on a display with the 30-30 repeater, but it wasn't enough. NaVi just had an answer. They came out with something different every other round. The charge rifle in the end was the kicker that really just shut everything down.
Yeah, it was a great adjustment. And apologies, chat. Obviously, I didn't have you up while we were chatting about your suggestions for the plural of wingmen. So please, wingman, I should say, wingman is an option. You know, feel free to put that forward if you feel comfortable with that. But let us know again, because I've got it open now, so I can pay attention to it. But now we're moving over to our next map, and we're going to be heading over to Overflow Down, which where we do see a lot more close range in quarters. I want to see if it's going to be a case of flatlines here coming in for Arena. For Arena Demons, as I've almost forgot their name for a second there. You know, straight up, going to be honest with you, everybody. You know, we all make mistakes, right? But Arena Demons, I want to see what they start off with weaponry here, because I think that they are the ones who are kind of pushing things a little bit away from the norm that we're used to seeing.
Well, I mean, a flatline is entirely using your materials in round number 1. You cannot buy anything else if you buy a flatline. So I think a lot of people are trying to find weapons they can use consistently that come alongside resources that allow you to heal back up a little bit more as well, especially if you are a team who likes to play that poke damage, that likes to stall things out and play things slow. Or you go kind of balls to the wall, say we're all going to get flat lines, we're going to run for the pill, we're going to get our resources that way, and we're just going to obliterate our opponents. Or you could do this, which is what we've seen from a lot of European teams, level up that Mozambique. A purple Mozam is a disgustingly scary weapon, even at range.
Yeah, even at range, I think is something that needs to be talked about. We talk about how you don't have a huge amount of resources early on, right? And you're seeing this from Arena Demons now. All you've got to do is do 5, 7, 8 damage. It doesn't matter. With the spray that you get from the Mozambique, that's going to cost maybe a cell to the other team, and then all of a sudden, economy is in your favor. So NaVi already being forced here to pop a battery, or Strafe he is, and now he's going to try and get a little bit aggressive to help his teammate clawz out. But the shots are being... the damage exchange, I should say, is being won quite convincingly so far by Arena Demons, and a Volt early purchase here, which is, again, something maybe we don't see in that first round.
If we see arenas really pick up as a competitive tournament that happens often, I think coaches could be so valuable. Someone just really tracking the damage that you're outputting, someone who's tracking how many cells, how many batteries are likely to have been used, because it's very difficult in the heat of the moment to track all that, as Strafe goes down extremely low, does have some smoke to work with, but it's Aidan the Destroyer's smoke, and he will pick up a Mastiff, and now he's going to push it.
He certainly is. clawz is going to have to hit some big shots here, and he manages to do so. However, there was another player lurking in the shadows just around the corner. That'll be Arena Demons taking home our first round, and they were in control of that one, you have to say. It felt like they had the pace of the game in their favor the entire time from the first bullet was shot, with NaVi deciding to play to that right-hand side. And something I've noticed from Arena Demons that they're doing extremely consistently, Dan, is always playing as quickly as possible to the side of the map where the circle's going to be pulling.
Yeah, they're very intelligent with how they play. There's a lot of thought process going into it. They've gone for the Bangalore as well. We've seen that, I think, once today already on this map. Just being able to kind of smoke off those sight lines so you can gain an advantage, whether that be positions or whether it be whether you get the supply drop in the middle of the map. As
I wonder what that was, by the way. That's exactly how, when we have live events, I wake Dan up. just before call time.
That with a slap around the face as well. It's usually somewhat aggressive, but
Bucket
I love
of water, it. Slap in the face, and a horn.
Nothing gets me fired up more. I tell you what, it hasn't been the same.
Clock. It really hasn't. However, Arena Demons actually, even though I gave them a lot of credit for playing the circle side, they're actually playing a little bit differently here, and I think that might be down to the head glitches that they can actually play off. So they're going to be the team who's going to have to make the move this time around, whereas NaVi are going to be holding the zone by the looks of things. However, we do have to see how that circle does shift, but it's going to be poke damage once again on both sides. Strafe managing to get the crack, getting 45 flesh damage as well. Going to be smoked off.
Phoenix will come through. Dimmy given plenty of time to pop it off. Both teams just giving each other a lot of respect right now. Neither team trying to push up too aggressively. NaVi holding very much central zone. Again, still the Mozambique's ever present and doing a lot of damage. I think it's going to come down to who hits a headshot first with the wingman. That could be enough really just to force the teams to engage in a fight. The supply drop's there, and there comes the shredding ability from the Vault as well. RahKnee will take down Strafe.
It's not just the shredding ability as well, it's the team fight, the focus fight is so impressive as, unfortunately for clawz, he's not going to be able to get that finish, and now we're going to see a little bit of a razzle-dazzle, disrespect, showmanship, I like to call it, as the finisher will be hit, and Arena Demons will go up by 2-0 here, and once again, even though NaVi hit some good shots initially, as soon as that first opportunity for a knock came in, Arena Demons just collapsed so fast.
2-0, and I think this is looking like it might be a 3-0 if Arena Demons keep carrying on playing the way they have been. The team fights have been excellent. The 1v1 ability has been excellent. The shots they've been hitting, phenomenal. NaVi haven't really had an answer for it thus far. The Bangalore has caused a little bit of problems here or there, just with being able to see certain areas of the map. And it's just allowed Arena Demons to close that gap and then push the fight. Get in NaVi's face. We need to see NaVi come up with something a little bit different, just as they did on map number 1.
Demons now looking to close out this map in a 3-0 fashion, and clawz with the headshot is going to slow down the move on the meds. But once again, Bangalore, something that we really touched on, the changeover from Valkyrie and map-specific legends obviously being something that is highly recommended here and being used effectively by Arena Demons. However, clawz once again forcing aidanthedestroyer back, but a Vault over the shoulder is going to keep him alive for now, as things just slow down a little bit.
I mean, it's literally what I was talking about for the last 2 rounds, but sure. Yeah, we haven't touched on Bangalore. It's fine. No, don't worry about it. It's fine if you're not listening. I don't care. I don't care what you say either. Don't worry about it.
It's fine.
No, honestly, Mark. It's fine.
No, you're good.
No, but you're right. But look at the difference. Look at the way that NaVi have been able to just shift over and adjust to that Bangalore. Wingman with the digi threat. Just allow you to push through that smoke, and also allow you to see through that smoke as well. And maybe now Bangalore isn't going to be as effective, but is it a little bit too late for NaVi? Digi threat is great, but is it going to be great when you're already 2-0 down?
Yeah, it's very difficult for them to do now, and you can see the zone is closing and Strafey's being taken down to pretty much 0 shields. He's going to have to slowly work his way back into this game, and it's just kind of a squeeze, constant pressure as Dimmy's going to hit that grenade. Strafey is the first player down here for NaVi. aidanthedestroyer, 95, 57, add them all up because it adds up to a win here for Arena Demons. They tie up the series at 1-1 after a very convincing performance here, as they take home a 3-0 victory.
I mean, there may well have been a digi threat on that Peacekeeper with the shots he was just hitting. It wasn't. It was a 2 times, but the smoke does look a little bit different on client feed compared to observer feed, so I am going to say that. But amazing 3-0 victory. That's the perfect response from Arena Demons, exactly what they needed to do. Otherwise, NaVi might have been able to kind of snowball away for things. But now I don't know where this series is going to go, because the first map was close, but the second map definitely wasn't. NaVi weren't in that map whatsoever, and that may just damage their spirits ever so slightly.
Yeah, the ability for NaVi to adjust in that first map, bring the charge rifle in, was very impressive, but there they just didn't have the time to. It just seemed like they didn't really have an answer to the Bangalore coming in and smoking off certain areas and really denying them lines of sight. But we'll have to see how NaVi bounce back, because we're tied up at 1-1. We're going to go for a quick break as we get game number 3 set up, so don't go anywhere or Dan will get sad.
Welcome back, everybody, to the UMG Champions Apex Legends Arena $10,000 Invitational. Taylor Reflections Noble joined by Onset and Gaskin. What a series we have at hand. NaVi forced to go all the way with the charge rifle, which, by the way, a brilliant play from them. They needed to find an answer for that constant chip damage from the 30-30 repeater, a unique look that Arena Demons, quite honestly gave us, including the Valkyrie, which we don't see too often, but played masterfully. But as masterfully as it was, NaVi, as Onset said, right, their ability to be able to adjust in that first map was brilliant. They take that one, but Overflow, a much different story. And Gaskin, this is where I pass it to you. When it comes to Overflow, you can't really go for that reset. Sometimes you have the faraway fights, but that 30-30 repeater was great on a map such as Party Crasher, which took some time for an engagement. But when it comes to Overflow, clearly, Arena Demons, they just wanted to headbutt NaVi, and that's exactly what they got.
Yeah, and I think headbutt, it works because the 3v3 seems to be those kind of fights that we're seeing them win, right? As soon as there is that tactical decision to be made, NaVi seem to have the upper hand. There seems to be a little bit more thought process behind what they're doing. However, when NaVi are just ran at, they don't really have the 3v3 capability to win. We've seen this not only in arenas, we've seen it in BRs as well, where sometimes they just can't quite clutch up in those 3v3 fights. And I think that's exactly the same as what's happening in these close range matchups for them. But maybe some of these maps will just allow for more kind of passive play, more thought process behind it, more tactical abilities coming into it. And again, just more strategy that they can work on.
I mean, onset tactical abilities, right? You got to talk about Phase Runner because that's coming up next. Map number 3, and that is a tactical map. Maybe NaVi can lead the series once again 2-1. I'm going to step out onset. Gaskin, take it away.
Well, here we go. Phase Runner is our map 3, Dan, and this is going to be a real test for both teams, I feel, because we've seen the best of both teams, I think, in our first 2 maps. We saw NaVi's ability to adjust, and then we've seen how devastating Arena Demons were on Overflow. And one thing I want to talk about very quickly is the positioning of every single player on Arena Demons. They had every single head glitch, you know, every bit of knowledge for the least vulnerable they can make themselves while doing damage on that map. I wonder if they have that same thing here on Phase Runner, where they can just chip away at NaVi's shields, or if NaVi are going to have an answer to it. If NaVi can come up with something just to force them out from that cover and maybe try and get that first blood, which you know is so vital.
Yeah, it's funny what you say. You say they've both played their best, but you said NaVi's best was when they were just adjusting to what their opposition was doing. I want to see NaVi come out of the blocks and just kind of initiate fights, be the ones who dictate the pace of the game, right? Assert their dominance over Arena Demons. They have the capability to do so. It's just got to be these wingman shots connecting. They need to be the ones who do the damage first, so they can be the ones who are pushing, not be the pushies.
Well, look at this. Again, compositions. So interesting for me to watch. And Arena Demons, they got a rampart. And they've got some walls up. And they're going to be doing some damage. And immediately, one thing that's impressing me as well is how well they know their angles down. It's immediately locking a reticle onto that staircase where most likely NaVi are going to be pushing and getting that initial damage done.
It's something that happens in arena-style games, in tactical shooters as well, but in Apex, because it's a BR and the engagements you have around the map are just so inconsistent, very rarely do you see pre-aim being a thing. It does happen sometimes, but certainly now players are learning that actually you know exactly where the head of your opponent is going to be, the tendencies of your opposition, and which positions they're going to be finding themselves in. Well, NaVi, they certainly were on the receiving end of some damage, so they have depleted some of their resources, but you could say the same about Arena Demons. It's pretty even when you look across the shields. RahKnee doesn't seem to have any cells left. There was also one member of NaVi who was in the similar position, so it's a bit of a standoff right now. And the 30-30 repeaters versus the wingman. I mean, I'm kind of favouring the 30-30 repeater from range.
One thing just to point out there was the angle that RahKnee had as well, just looking through that crate to give the communication to his teammates that a player was looking to shimmy away round, try and come up with a flank himself. But once again, the positioning here of Arena Demons, if you notice, always on a head glitch, making sure that there's so little of the player model for NaVi to shoot at. They're going to have to hit some crazy shots. But for now, Arena Demons actually backing up to a position where they can all start to play together a little bit more. RahKnee's going to take a little bit of a wide angle here, and quite late as well. As you can see, that zone's going to be moving in around 15 seconds. So he's trying to make a play here, catch players on the cross.
Maybe also trying to make a move for the supply drop. He's certainly got eyes on it at the moment. It seems like NaVi have a game plan here. They want to play circle. They know that Arena Demons have to move. It's whether RahKnee's going to be able to actually get on top of this to try and loot. He has an off angle, but he's been spotted out after missing a couple of shots. If he had hit shots there, that could have been bad news for NaVi. Now they know exactly where he is. Aidan the Destroyer has not been able to heal up, so NaVi do have the ever so slight advantage, but clawz also is pretty low. RahKnee now has been taken down, and there certainly is not much resources to be used. Syringes are out now. You know things are bad when you're starting to syringe.
Yeah, HP advantages with NaVi here, and if they can get a little bit more damage done, then maybe this will be the signal to push. And what's one way to deal with a 30-30? A 30-30. As you can see, clawz has picked that one up now. Aidan the Destroyer down to 1 HP. A little poke shot's going to do 57 damage as clawz will be taken down by RahKnee, and that's the difference between an iron sight and a wingman and a 2 times on a 30, and all of a sudden what looked like a round almost guaranteed surely to be going to NaVi has turned on his head. And Strafey now has to make a play, and again, look at these positions, look at the head glitches, look at the angles coming out of Arena Demons.
Oh, the L-Star's been picked up as well. I don't think there's any chance here for Strafey, even though all 3 of them are low. He has to literally hit everything. Unfortunately, he's not going to be hitting everything. Did just get word that you're not allowed to use the L-Star, even though it's in the package, so that's good. In a tournament we casted last week, the L-Star was banned, but was still allowed when it was in a package, but I was a bit unhappy about that. I'm pretty happy that that's a rule, so thanks, production.
This is good news. I mean, I said to everybody, hopefully they come back after the break. They did, which is great. Which put a smile on your face and make you sad. And now, I mean, what a day for you, Dan. Everything's going so well since the start of the show. I know that you had a little bit of a thing with your go-karting earlier where, I don't know, go-kart exploded or something. I didn't get all the actual details, but, you know, things are picking up is what I'm trying to say for you.
It's been a rough week, I'm going to be completely honest, but now we're here. Got a fantastic UMG tournament in front of me and gardens to ruin my happy day, so... we're definitely going to get there. That's the bad thing. But I guess we get to watch this first, as Arena Demons do have a 1-0 lead, which is surprising. NaVi, I think, had the upper hand, but they were afraid to jump on Arena Demons. Again, they just weren't the team who was initiating the fight. Instead, they were just sitting a little too far back, allowed Arena Demons to poke them despite the armor advantage they had. And now Arena Demons are also going to have the economy advantage going into this. So NaVi very much on the back foot. And they need to really just think about how they want to approach this round, because I just feel like there needs to be a little bit more aggression in some of the rounds that we've seen.
It's so difficult to be aggressive, though, when people are playing these kind of head glitches in positions where you take 2 shots on a cross when you try and get a position, and then all of a sudden you lose a player. It's so difficult for NaVi to try and adjust to the positioning and the weaponry that's coming out of Arena Demons, that at the moment you can see they're kind of just trying to think, how can we close the gap here? How can we try and be aggressive? And it's even more difficult when you got a player sat between 2 levels of amp cover who's just chipping away at that damage and expending your resources at the same time.
It's so obnoxious, isn't it, playing a Rampart? I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, I respect the fact that they've been changing compositions.
Super effective.
There is no way that Rampart should be banned, right? She's not overpowered, she's not too strong, but she's just one of those legends which is just obnoxious to play and play against. It has done the job. And aidanthedestroyer is making things very difficult for NaVi. And in general, just Arena Demons making things difficult for NaVi. This is not how NaVi want to play the game whatsoever. You know that. Dimmy is very low. Strafey was able to provide some covering fire for the rest of the team, but did take some damage himself. NaVi, again, I would say, have the advantage, but can they capitalize on it?
clawz is going to be forced to slow heal here. He's 4 shield cells to work with and decides to keep the battery for something that might happen a little bit later on, should he need it. RahKnee having a little bit of a look around the corner, a little raise of the eyebrow, as we actually can see the first knock coming as again, this time for Arena Demons. Strafey has gone down, and it looks like he's separated from his team as well. So, Arena Demons separating the Pathfinder from the rest of his team. They will get the finish as well. xron's down to pretty much no HP as well. clawz is going to have to try and hold here, as 2 players are going to step up now from Arena Demons to try and finish this off. RahKnee holding the backside for that flank that might come out. This is again, the word I used earlier was surgical, and it really does feel like that from Arena Demons.
NaVi have done a lot of damage though. xron will take down Dimmy, but will fall. RahKnee will get that knock, and clawz is in a 1 versus 2, but they are both somewhat weak. This is doable. This is achievable. Dives on the first, gets the knock. Now needs to look for the second. Got to hit your shots here. Ooh. Oh, it's so close. But Arena Demons still pull it out the back.
Well, that's the kind of play that NaVi are having to make. It has to be a superstar play for them to take a round away at the moment. It's just the rounds are just constructed so well and so efficiently by Arena Demons that now they find themselves on match point once more.
They're earning their title.
Questions to answer here. They really are.
I mean, Arena Demons is a bold name to pick, but when you are doing things like this and just kind of changing the meta of Arena, or at least just forcing NaVi to play the game in a way they definitely don't want to be playing it, saying, actually, we're going to dictate the pace of this game. You're going to have to play at our speed, whether you like it or not. Even if you get us down to a position where we don't have as many shields as you, we're still going to make it awkward for you to push. So you have to sit back so we can continue to poke you, so we can equal the amount of damage you've managed to output, and then we'll push you and surprise you. It's just been actually a thing of beauty almost to watch from Arena Demons. But even with a 2-0 lead and 1-1 in the series, NaVi still have looked good enough for me where they could get back into it. Here's the charge rifle again to try and even things up. I don't know if it's going to work, though.
Oh, I know you like your metaphors, Dan. The way that I see Arena Demons playing is like, you know, in like cartoons or films, sometimes you see the steamroller sort of slowly going towards someone who's on the ground and they go, no! And then it always ends up stopping, right? And they always sort of stay alive. This is the difference. It keeps going here.
Oh my
If you're Arena Demons, and they are squashing NaVi at the moment. Aidan the Destroyer taken down. The 30-30 not quite connecting here onto Strafey. And RahKnee now finds himself with a player at his back. And he's only got 1 HP as well. Dimmy doing a good job to keep him alive for now. Strafey versus Dimmy. And oh my word, Dimmy wins that one on Arena Demons. They will win map number 3 here and got 2-1 in the series. That was an impressive performance from Dimmy in that final fight.
They looked so comfortable. They looked at home on Phase Runner. NaVi just didn't really get a shout, despite the fact that they did an incredible amount of damage every single round. NaVi, it just wasn't enough. It came down to just kind of a 1v2 hope or a 1v3 hope. There was always that possibility of NaVi clutching up. That's how close they were. It was certainly closer than a 3-0 would suggest, but the way that kind of the Arena Demons played that was insane. Like, they knew exactly how they wanted to approach the game. They had everything down to a T. Yes, it was close, but they certainly made it look good.
Angles, again, angles and positioning. That's the real takeaway for me. And also legends. I mean, every single map has had a map-specific legend for Arena Demons. We saw Valkyrie on the first map. We saw Bangalore on the second map, and now we've seen Rampart on the third map. So you can see how much they've played and how much knowledge they have of what is the best composition per map. And now we move on to your favorite map of all time, which always puts a smile on your face, Dan, which is, of course, Gardens. This is going to be an interesting one because this is a chance for NaVi to be aggressive. I know, I can see that you're triggered by it, but they can be really aggressive here, and they can kind of play against and try and play against, I should say, the way that Arena Demons have been playing this slow, methodical playstyle.
But with what we've seen from Arena Demons and how they've adjusted from map to map, how they've changed Legend from map to map, you'd imagine that they know how to play Gardens and they know how to adjust to it. So you're expecting them to see now the aggressive Legends come out to play. Like, the Octane's already there, the Pathfinder's already there, so you say, well, what do we do to add to this? Do we add a Gibby so we've got the bubble capabilities? Do we go for something like a Horizon so we've got another Legend that can go up to the high ground? Or they could go completely, you know, against the grain and go for something that we weren't expecting, maybe like a Fuse, or there's all these things that could happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Arena Demons are going to go, but I know that whatever they do, there'll be a good reason behind it. And that's exciting. This is a team who have strategized, they know what they want to do, and they certainly have planned effectively. And that's why they're 2-1 up here.
I think you've just put together the composition that I would go with, which is Octane, Pathfinder. And to be honest with you, I would go maybe with Fuse. The fact that you can carry double the amount of nades, the fact that you have the Knuckle Cluster as well to work people off height, and his ult is so powerful now. After his recent buff, I think he's a very, very viable legend here for Gardens. So that might be who I go with. When I started playing arenas at the start of the season, someone I was playing with picked Fuse by accident and decided that it was officially meta and refused to play anyone else. So maybe you saw ahead of time. This was before the buff, I should say. By the way, it was a completely accident. He went like 1-9 or something. But you know, it happens. It happens. We've all been there. But it's now a case of, you know, I can't think of another legend outside of maybe Gibby, like you mentioned, who's going to be as effective as Fuse would be in a close quarters battle.
Maybe a Wraith, just so you can kind of queue out and get out of the fight after you've done some damage. But yeah, I agree. I think Fuse can do a lot, especially when we saw earlier, like the grenade strategy was from Noble, and that really kind of shook things up. It just made everything impossible for the team who got to the high ground first. So perhaps Fuse with the grenades that you can carry, double the grenades, as you say, could be a real kind of stinker here for the other team going up against the Fuse. But I don't know, Arena Demons, whatever they do, I will respect it, because there's been method in the madness at all times. They know exactly what they want to do.
I'm just strategizing like ways that I could play Gardens now in like the scummiest way possible. Caustic Watson, play the bottom room.
Oh, Yeah.
Yeah. Fences up, Jet in the corner, barrels down. Just go full scumbag. That could be the way. However, I'd never do that because I'm not that kind of guy. But it's certainly interesting to see how map to map, this is definitely a case now of it's not a composition we're running as a team in arenas. It's what composition are we running on what particular map. And I think that's a fascinating development. Again, tournament to tournament, we're seeing new things that we hadn't seen before from teams.
Also, this is going to kind of up the ability of people playing flex characters when it comes to Battle Royale as well. There's going to be a lot of experience earned on a lot of these legends, which they may have not played before, at least maybe not been in this many gunfights before. You got to imagine one game of Battle Royale, you can probably play a few games of Arena. You're going to get far much more gunfights going on. Sometimes you play a Battle Royale and you get 0 gunfights. You might die off drop, or you get punched to death by 3 people who have decided that they don't want to go for guns and they just want to punch you. And sorry, I almost got angry again there, but I didn't get angry. Let's just get into game, maybe, just because otherwise I'm going to... Oh, it's Gardens, for goodness sake.
I got you down. Don't worry about it. You catch your breath, my friend, and you contain your rage for now, because the two teams are going to be battling it out on Gardens, as you said, and it is a chance now for Arena Demons to close out the series against NaVi in a 3-1 fashion. If they don't manage to take it home, though, we will go to our Game 5 over at Thermal Station, where we will decide who will be moving through. But for now, Gardens is the battleground for the two teams. And I already want to see, desperately, the composition that's being run by Arena Demons.
Give it to us. Come on, Arena Demons. What have you got to offer? It's going to be Horizon. Okay, so it was the initial...
Makes sense.
Kind of off-meta pick that I thought about. It's just someone who can give you the high ground. There is the grab lift coming in straight away. High ground has been secured. NaVi are immediately on the back foot as RahKnee, again, this 30-30 repeater on set is just absolutely deadly.
Certainly is. And NaVi having a real difficult time, especially with a Peacekeeper and Aidan the Destroyer up on that high ground. But look at this. They're already aggressive, already looking to take more than the high ground because they control both levels. As a shot for 16 is going to do a little bit of chip damage here to Strafey in the distance. And as we know, in round 1, that chip damage all adds up. And if you can get the HP advantage and the meds advantage, then you're pretty much guaranteed to win this.
Just look how defensive NaVi are having to play. Look how far Strafey is away from the rest of his team. And if Arena Demons get a whiff of that, they will jump on the other two. Strafey's just collecting resources at the moment, getting those materials, thinking about the following rounds, and also trying to get an off angle so he can do damage from the side. Arena Demons haven't jumped on the 2 yet, and they've taken a little bit of damage, but they've had plenty of health and batteries to kind of put themselves back up, and Strafey can reposition to get himself a Havoc.
Put the Havoc, and he's managed to survive for now. Arena Demons taking a little bit of damage, but as you can see, do have a few cells to play with. Not too much at this point, as we're going to see a little 37 poke around the corner once again from the 30-30 repeater of RahKnee. Aidan charging up that Peacekeeper as well with the choke on. And the shield crack. We're being forced to pop his remaining battery as well. And I've got to be honest with you, I like the way that NaVi have approached this. Even though you can see xron hasn't really got much HP to work with, and they might end up actually playing down on this low ground. They haven't kind of thrown away the round. They haven't got overly aggressive, overly desperate for damage to be exchanged. They kind of just held their ground and allowed Arena Demons to have this height.
Yeah, it's what happens sometimes on Gardens, is it? Where you just see both teams compete for the height and then one team dies after 15 seconds. But NaVi trying to play with a bit more strategy here. Even though xron was weak, he managed to find a Phoenix kit, I guess from the supply drop, and is back up to full complement of health. It's Dimmy who's one of the lower players. Strafey's also lost his health. Peacekeeper is hitting hard from distance. And NaVi just hoping they can get some tags with the wingmen here. And maybe then that'll be enough for them to push, as Dimmy has been cracked and gone down to half HP.
Well, RahKnee's going to be in a position with a 30-30 to get that first knock onto xron. xron goes down. Arena Demons have the man advantage for now. Nice shots, even though it doesn't add up to much. And that will be round number 1 going to Arena Demons. Once again, the slow death for NaVi as they were just forced into a situation where they had no heals, they had no position, and Arena Demons just controlling that height once more.
Yeah, they got the height. They didn't kind of jump on NaVi. There was one point I think they considered, oh, you know, there's two players, we could push them and have the man advantage, but instead they knew full well that they had the perfect map positioning. They didn't need to get ahead of themselves. NaVi tried to go for something a little bit different. They did get plenty of materials in that round, so at least their economy isn't going to be too disadvantageous in comparison to Arena Demons.
Let's go this way.
But now here comes the race to the top. And it's going to be NaVi who have a slight advantage with the Pathfinder Zip here. They have the better side of the map.
For now. However, as we've seen previously, getting there first doesn't mean too much because grenades are going to rain down and crack shields like some eggs at the bottom of a shopping bag. Aidan the Destroyer going up with the Eva 8 in his hands, and he's going to show a good old close-up of it to the Gibraltar in front of him. RahKnee is going to be taken down. No, he's not actually. He's going to win the round. It's as simple as that. It really is they're making it look so easy against NaVi here, Arena Demons. They seem to have every single facet of the game sorted.
They've got it all there. As I say, there was strategy, there is method behind the madness. At no point have I looked at any of their decisions and thought, you know, this is a bad thing. Why are they doing this? I'm just like, yeah, okay. I understand what they're doing. Oh yeah, that's a good decision. There is a fantastic kind of chemistry between these three players where their positioning is on point. Their aim is incredible, actually, scarily good at times. And NaVi just don't seem to have a response for that. The 30-30 repeater is just hitting far too hard. The poke damage is too insane. And NaVi looking like they might be dropping down to the lower bracket here, which would put them against Aqualix, by the way, for a fantastic rematch from the first tournament to see who progresses into tomorrow's action. But there is still time yet for NaVi. We've had a little bit of a server issue, so we're just waiting for that one to be remade. And I think, wait a second. I thought it was going to be able to time that perfectly. There we go. We're in the game.
I was going to count down there, but I got nervous that we were going to go back into the game and I was going to look really stupid, but I should be used to that by now, to be honest with you, as Arena Demons now find themselves down on match point against NaVi. 2-1 up in this. And a little bit of a slower play from them this time. Playing from that low ground. You can see that NaVi should have control of the height. And I wonder if there's a little bit of zone knowledge coming in from Arena Demons, or just a different way that they want to try and approach things, as they have to work their way up. And it looks like it might actually be pulling down into the middle a little bit from both the high ground and the low ground. So it might be NaVi who are forced to drop first here, which, again, zone knowledge, very, very impressive here from Arena Demons.
Yep, they've got it all. And they should be progressing realistically to tomorrow. Unless there's any major errors or NaVi do what they did in the original map, where they just come up with something that just kind of breaks Arena Demons open ever so slightly. It was the charge rifle initially from an angle where they just weren't able to have the same amount of map presence as they had in the previous rounds. But Strafe is just being tagged back. Wherever he tries to position himself, he's being spotted out. And Arena Demons now looking to try and make their move. Aidan the Destroyer has been seen on his ways down through the middle of the map, but here's the charge rifle again.
Enemy over there.
Charge rifle on the hands. This was the golden ticket for NaVi to get them back into game number one. However, Strafe just not being given a moment's rest at the moment, as he will have his shields broken and be forced to back down from that high ground. And Arena Demons again. This is where we're going to see the end circle. It's going to be just above where they are, or just in this room and they find themselves in. NaVi trying to negotiate their way towards it a little bit. And again, just the angles that they do have, so impressive. And you can see NaVi are just kind of in a position where they're not quite sure how to approach this, Dan.
Well, you're just going to be terrified, because if you make one wrong move, if that foot even pokes out past a wall, it seems like the bullets are just zipping onto any sort of object you show. Any body part is getting ripped apart by the Arena Demons players. NaVi, though, back up to full shields. Do have a better situation in that regard, but I'm just scared when it comes to a 3v3 fight. But it looks like they want to engage here.
If they get a good grenade in here, this could be really good damage for them. However, speaking of damage, once again, the 30-30 repeaters there. clawz will get the first one, though. Fron will get the second, and all of a sudden, Aidan the Destroyer finds himself in a really tough situation, but the black hole's going to buy him some time. He takes to the skies now, and oh my word, from the heavens, Arena Demons close out the series. Horizon Welcome to the buy. That is why you choose her, and that is how you win games.
What a way to finish the game as well. I've been hoping that eventually the Black Hole was just going to show us why Horizon is a very viable arena character. And there it is, right in front of you. The Black Hole to perfection. The Arc Star comes in, the damage is there, and then the grav lift and raining down from above. Oh, it was just... Wow, it was wonderful reflections.
Chef's kiss.
I am blown away from Arena Demons. Look, first and foremost, I gassed them up. I really did because I got them involved with the tournament, whatever. They hit me up. They're not disappointing. 30-30 repeaters. You're rocking Rampart. You're also coming in with Valkyrie. You're coming in, with Horizon. And by the way, that's all Aidan the Destroyer. Aidan the Destroyer has played 3 different legends since we've been watching him. Like, that's fantastic. To be able to adjust each map, honestly, and connect as well as he is just incredible. The 30-30 repeaters are just nasty. They dominated this series. Quite simply, they dominated this series. Outside of Party Crasher, Overflow, Phase Runner, Gardens, all in the way of 3-0. It was amazing. I mean, there's nothing bad I can say about Arena Demons at all, Gaskin.
Yeah, they really put on a show for us here. NaVi just weren't able to respond to what Arena Demons had to offer. As I've said a few times, the strategy was on point. NaVi now need to reassess how they want to approach their next game. The good thing is their next game is against Aqualix, so it's going to be a completely even ground, EU versus EU, so there can be no complaints about ping on that one. And they can look to try and get some revenge against Aqualix, because Aqualix beat them last time. But, you have to take your hats off to Arena Demons. As you say, there's not a bad word you could say about them with how they've played. Excellent, and I'm very impressed.